Have you ever felt the world tilt on its axis, just for a second? The night my world broke wasn't loud. It was silent. It was 2 a.m. in our Chicago brownstone, the only light coming from the laptop screen I'd opened to pay a bill. Her laptop. She'd left it on the mahogany desk in our shared office, and my eyes caught the browser history, left open by mistake. It wasn't a suspicious text that broke me. It was a search query, typed into the cold, sterile Google bar. How to fake a business trip overseas. My heart didn't just sink, it evaporated. I scrolled, my hand trembling, seeing other searches. Best hotels near O'Hare for a layover, non-traceable burner phones, and finally, a name I didn't recognize, followed by the words apartment, Lincoln Park. The air in the room turned to ice. I knew in that gut-wrenching, soul-crushing instant that the woman sleeping peacefully in our bed was a stranger. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel. Tell us where you're from, and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. For 10 years, Jessica was my everything. We built a life from nothing. I worked 2 jobs to put her through her MBA, celebrated her promotion to a senior marketing role at a top firm on Michigan Avenue. I was the loyal, steady husband, the rock she said she could always count on. But for the last 6 months, she'd been different, distant. The strange behavior started subtly. Late nights at the office became more frequent. Her phone, once left casually on the kitchen counter, was now permanently attached to her hand, screen down. When I'd ask about her day, the answers were clipped, vague, just busy, she'd say, her eyes already drifting back to the glowing screen in her palm. She became cold, manipulative, twisting my concern into accusations. "Why are you so insecure all of a sudden?" she'd ask, her voice laced with an arrogance that was new and chilling. The villains, her and whoever was on the other end of those texts, felt untouchable. The breaking point came on our anniversary. I'd booked a table at Gibson's Bar and Steakhouse, our spot. She was an hour late, breezing in with a flimsy apology about a client emergency. Throughout dinner, she was a ghost, her attention fixated on her phone, a small, cruel smile playing on her lips as she texted under the table. I felt a profound humiliation, sitting there alone in a crowded restaurant, a ghost at my own celebration. That night, I went through our credit card statements. The receipts told a story of their own. Lunches for 2 at fancy downtown bistros I'd never been to. A charge for a room at the Langham on a night she was supposedly working late. The final piece clicked into place. I felt the floor drop out from under me, the kind of emotional free fall that leaves you gasping for air. I locked myself in the bathroom, slid down the cold tile wall, and for the first time in our marriage, I wept not for us, but for the fool I had been. But as the tears dried, something else took root in the hollow space in my chest. A cold, hard resolve. The man she married was gone, replaced by someone she wouldn't recognize. I wouldn't just leave. I would dismantle the life she'd built on my back, piece by piece. My grief turned into fuel. I spent the next 2 months gathering proof, my every move calculated. I hired a private investigator, a grizzled ex-cop who knew the city's secrets. He gave me everything: photos of Jessica and her lover, a smug financial analyst named Mark, kissing outside a bar on Rush Street, records of their check-ins at boutique hotels, even a recording of them laughing about me, about my naivety. I saved every file, every image, every soul-crushing word to a secure, encrypted drive. I contacted the best divorce attorney in Chicago, a shark known for leaving his opponents with nothing. We set the traps, legal and social, with meticulous precision. I quietly moved my savings into a new account. I documented every asset I had brought into the marriage, every dollar I had invested in her and her career. The day she told me about her business trip to London, her eyes shining with false sincerity, I almost smiled. It was showtime. "That sounds amazing, honey," I said, my voice even. "You deserve it." She left on a Tuesday. The pie confirmed she and Mark checked into a suite at the Waldorf Astoria, not far from our home. The public exposure was planned like a military operation. The next day, I sent a carefully curated package of evidence to Jessica's CEO, the board of directors, and the HR department. It detailed her affair with Marka, senior executive at a rival firm, and included proof that she did use company funds for their tryst disguised as client expenses. An ethics and corporate espionage investigation was launched immediately. Simultaneously, I sent another package to Mark's wife, a woman who I discovered came from a very powerful, very old money Chicago family. The fallout was biblical. Jessica was fired, her career obliterated in a single afternoon. The story of the affair and the corporate fraud leaked, and she was socially crucified. Her friends, the ones who had undoubtedly covered for her, vanished. Mark's wife filed for divorce. Her family's legal team descended upon him with the fury of a hurricane, tying up his assets and ensuring his professional ruin. Jessica came home not to a forgiving husband, but to an empty house and a divorce petition waiting on the kitchen island. The legal battle was short and brutal. Armed with irrefutable proof of her infidelity and financial misconduct, the judge awarded me the house, the majority of our assets, and made it clear she was entitled to nothing. She was completely, utterly ruined, left with nothing but the consequences of her choices. Sometimes, late at night, I walk through the quiet rooms of this house, the one I bought with my own sweat and dreams. It's clean now. Her scent is gone. Her things are gone. All that's left is the silence and the faint, lingering echo of a promise I once made to love, honor, and cherish. I kept my promise right up until the moment she taught me that some promises are meant to be broken. The end.